The air in Abbey Road Studios was thick with history. You could feel the ghosts of legends in the walls. Into this hallowed space walked Sophia Cruz, a young woman from the Philippines, her guitar case almost too big for her to carry. The silence that greeted her was cold, judging. She looked out at the faces before her, record executives, critics, and seasoned musicians, arms crossed, expressions bored. This was a long way from the noisy streets of Manila, where jeepneys and vendors were her audience. Here, the silence was an adversary, a canvas demanding a masterpiece. Sophia took a deep breath, feeling their eyes dissect her simple dress and worn guitar. They saw a street singer, a novelty act, not the years of practice or the heart that beat like a drum. In their world of polished stars, she was an anomaly. She walked to the center of the room, to the spot where legends had stood. Sophia placed her guitar strap over her shoulder and approached the microphone. She closed her eyes, thinking of her grandmother and the reason she sang. Among the powerful figures, one man stood out, Alistair Finch, a legendary producer. He leaned back, smirking, whispering to an executive beside him. To Alistair, music was a formula, and Sophia didn't fit. He saw a charity case, a box ticked for diversity. Another one with a sob story, he muttered, dismissing her before she sang. The room's cynicism was palpable. Whispers spread. She sings on the street in Manila. They saw her background as a mark against her, not a testament to resilience. Formal training and connections were their currency. Sophia was an outsider. She heard the whispers, felt the sting, but let it fuel her. She had sung for tougher crowds, people hungry, tired, lost. The skepticism here was nothing compared to the indifference of a busy street. She tightened her grip on her guitar. She would sing for herself, her grandmother, and everyone back home. Sophia's story began on the vibrant streets of Manila, not in a music academy. As a girl, she followed her grandmother Elena through crowded markets. Elena, once a promising opera singer, taught Sophia everything: breathing techniques, holding a note, and the soul of Kundiman music. Sophia learned to project her voice over traffic, to find pitch amidst chaos. Music is not about perfection a poco. It is about heart, Elena would say. Singing on the streets was tough. Some days no one listened. Other days, a small crowd gathered. She sang for coins, for food, for the joy of seeing a stranger smile. Music, she learned, was a gift, a connection, not a commodity. Her motivation was never fame, but to honor her grandmother's legacy. This showcase at Abbey Road was Elena's final wish. Before she passed, Elena sent a raw recording of Sophia singing. When the invitation arrived, it felt like a miracle. Sophia was there to prove a street-nurtured voice could be as powerful as any. Sophia closed her eyes, took a breath, and began. She started with a soft, haunting melody, a kundiman called Dahil sa iyo. In her voice, the song became a prayer. Her fingers danced across the guitar, the arrangement delicate and pure. The room fell utterly still. She sang with Pagiyak ng Kaluluwa, the weeping of the soul, a blend of opera's power and folk's vulnerability. Her voice swelled, then receded to a whisper, as if singing to each person alone. The lyrics were in Tagalog, but the emotion transcended language. The producers and critics leaned forward, their indifference cracking. They weren't just hearing a song, they were witnessing a story unfold. At the climax, her voice soared, a note of heartbreak and hope. The note hung in the air, shimmering in the silence. When it faded, the silence was reverent. The room was awestruck. After the last note, no one moved or spoke. The air, once heavy with doubt, was now thick with emotion. Critics stared at empty notepads. Musicians exchanged wide-eyed glances. They had witnessed something pure, a reminder of why they loved music. Then, a soft sob broke the silence, a hardened journalist wiping tears. Others followed, visibly moved. Sophia had bypassed their cynicism, reaching their hearts. She opened her eyes, cheeks wet with tears, overwhelmed by the reaction. The wall between performer and audience had dissolved. They were just people, connected by a melody of love and loss. One person began to clap, then another, until the room erupted in a standing ovation. The applause was thunderous, heartfelt, sustained. The gatekeepers had thrown the gate wide open. They applauded her courage, her history, and the truth that great art comes from unexpected places. Amidst the applause, Alistair Finch remained seated, stunned. The formula he trusted was meaningless now. He had witnessed magic. He had judged Sophia arrogantly, and her voice proved him wrong. As the applause faded, Alistair stood and walked to the stage. The room hushed, anticipation thick. He took the microphone, his hand trembling. "I owe you an apology," he said, voice cracking. "I am paid to recognize talent. Today, I failed. I listened with prejudice." He looked at Sophia, sincere. "I dismissed you before you sang, and almost missed the most beautiful performance I've heard in 30 years. Your voice is a gift. Thank you for reminding me what music is supposed to be." His public apology stunned the room, a lesson in humility. He began to clap, and the room joined in a second, even more meaningful ovation. This time, it was for honesty, humility, and connection. Sophia nodded, accepting his apology with quiet grace. The producer who laughed at her was now her champion. That day at Abbey Road was a beginning, not an end. Alistair Finch offered Sophia a record deal on the spot. He wanted to capture her raw magic. Her debut album, recorded there, became a global sensation. It topped charts in countries that had never heard Filipino folk music. Sophia's success sent ripples through the music world. Prestigious schools began teaching her weeping of the soul style. She became a symbol of authenticity in an artificial industry. But her greatest success was the journey home. After a world tour, she returned to Manila, unchanged. She held a free concert in the market where it all began. Thousands came. Vendors, children, aspiring musicians. She sang the same songs with the same heart for her people. Sophia's story proved that true art comes from everywhere, and it belongs to everyone.